Many of us who are past 80 remember a time when diets were simpler and terms like protein intake weren't part of everyday conversation. Yet as we get older, the way we eat can profoundly influence our healing and strength. For some, especially those dealing with dental issues or digestive sensitivities, the idea of getting enough protein feels daunting. It can seem like we're stuck choosing between tough cuts of meat or protein supplements that taste anything but inviting. But what if there was a way to enjoy gentle, comforting foods that still deliver the vital protein our bodies need? That's exactly what we'll explore today. It's common to assume that reduced energy and slower recovery times are just part of aging. Yet we now understand that maintaining muscle and supporting healing is closely tied to adequate protein. This doesn't mean we have to start choking down unappealing shakes or chewing tough steaks. Instead, we can look to softer, tastier alternatives. When our teeth or jaw muscles aren't as strong as they used to be, it's reassuring to know there are still plenty of foods out there that fit comfortably into a spoon or a fork and aren't difficult to swallow. That's why focusing on soft protein sources matters. They're easier on the mouth, gentler on digestion, and still powerful for fueling muscles and supporting recovery. In my years of guiding seniors toward better nutrition, I've seen how small changes in what we eat can make a huge difference. It's not about dramatic overhauls or rigid diets. It's about learning to adapt our meals to fit our changing bodies. The results can be wonderful: improved energy, a smoother healing process after an injury or surgery, and a greater sense of enjoyment at mealtime. You deserve to relish your food, not just tolerate it. So join me as we explore 6 soft protein foods that many people overlook or misunderstand. We'll talk about how each can ease the process of getting vital nutrients while still delivering a pleasant eating experience. By the end, you'll see how adding even a few of these items can renew your relationship with food and help you bounce back faster from health setbacks. We'll dispel some myths, share real-life stories from folks who've experienced surprising benefits, and give you practical ways to incorporate these foods into your day-to-day routine. If you've ever been told that soft foods are just pudding and applesauce, I invite you to stick with me until the end. There's so much more to soft, protein-rich eating than you might imagine, and the rewards can include not only physical benefits, like better muscle support, but also emotional perks, such as greater confidence and independence. Remember, any information here is meant to inspire and guide you, but always check with your healthcare provider for personalized advice. Before we jump in, take a moment to think. Are you satisfied with the variety of protein in your meals right now? If not, let's embark on this journey together. By the time we finish, you'll have a clearer idea of how to make each meal a source of comfort, enjoyment, and nourishment, even if you thought you'd never be able to tackle protein intake again at this stage of life. Let's begin with something that often surprises people when they discover just how protein-packed and easy to eat it really is. Cottage cheese might seem simple, almost old-fashioned, but it hides a wealth of benefits for seniors. Many of us grew up with the notion that cottage cheese was just a bland side dish, something you might have tried only once or twice. But here's where we can start challenging assumptions. Cottage cheese doesn't have to be plain, and it's far more useful than you might realize for muscle recovery and strength. Some people believe cottage cheese is best avoided because of concerns about salt or texture. Lucy, an 82-year-old gardening enthusiast, told me she never touched cottage cheese after hearing it was too high in sodium, and she found the curdy texture off-putting. She assumed it wouldn't fit her desire for softer, easy-to-chew foods. But Lucy had significant muscle loss after a hip replacement surgery and was looking for gentle protein sources. Once we explored lower sodium varieties and showed her how to blend cottage cheese into smooth spreads, she changed her mind. In just a few weeks, her muscle tone began improving during physical therapy, and she found that a little added cottage cheese to her breakfast or lunch kept her more satisfied throughout the day. Research suggests that the casein protein in cottage cheese digests more slowly than whey, providing a steady stream of amino acids that support muscle repair. That's particularly helpful as we age. Muscles recover at a different pace when we're older, and having a reliable protein source can make the difference between feeling constantly fatigued and noticing real improvement in strength over time. Cottage cheese also offers calcium, which can be beneficial for bone health. an area many seniors are naturally concerned about. So how do you incorporate it in a way that fits your comfort level? If you prefer a smoother texture, a few pulses in a blender or food processor transform cottage cheese into a creamy spread. Add some fresh herbs or a sprinkle of paprika to enhance the flavor. If you can manage a bit of chunkiness, you can top it with soft, diced fruit like peaches or blend it into soups for added creaminess without lumps. Another easy way is to stir it into mashed sweet potatoes or winter squash. The mild taste often goes unnoticed, but you gain a nutritional boost. Emotionally, it can be heartening to see how simple daily foods can support the healing process. Lucy shared that once she got used to adding cottage cheese to her meals, she felt more in control of her recovery. She was doing something proactive each day rather than feeling helpless. While cottage cheese alone won't solve every health challenge, it's a step toward building a stronger nutritional foundation. Let's see how well you can imagine that smooth, creamy texture and the relief of knowing you're giving your body the support it needs. If this has piqued your curiosity, consider trying a spoonful of blended cottage cheese with your next meal. You might be pleasantly surprised by the taste and texture, especially once you get creative with seasonings. Next, let's move to a protein source that often raises eyebrows because some believe it's bland, while others simply aren't sure how to prepare it for maximum flavor. Silken tofu is often dismissed as tasteless or reserved for vegetarians, but this humble ingredient can be a senior's best friend when softness and protein are the goal. Plenty of people think tofu is rubbery or tricky to cook. The truth is, there are several varieties, and silken tofu is especially smooth and delicate, ideal for anyone who struggles with chewing or swallowing. Ralph, a 90-year-old former high school teacher, once told me he didn't think tofu was real food. He had always been a meat and potatoes person, so tofu felt foreign to him. But after a dental procedure left him needing soft foods, we experimented with silken tofu in his soups, smoothies, and even scrambled-style dishes. He was amazed at how it took on the flavors of whatever seasoning he used. Soon, he was blending tofu with fresh herbs to create spreads for crackers, once his dentist gave the go-ahead for crunchy textures, and stirring it into vegetable soups. Over time, he noticed fewer episodes of low energy in the afternoon, which he attributed partly to maintaining a steadier intake of protein. One reason silken tofu works so well for healing and recovery is its high-quality protein content. It contains all 9 essential amino acids, which are vital for muscle repair and overall strength. Tofu also offers iron and calcium, nutrients that help support both oxygen circulation and bone health. Since seniors often need additional support in these areas, a soft, easily digestible protein like silken tofu can be a quiet game changer in your meal plan. A simple way to incorporate silken tofu is to blend it into a creamy base for sauces or dressings. You can mix it with soft roasted tomatoes, basil, and a pinch of salt for a flavorful pasta sauce. Another approach: stir it into a stir-fry at the very end, allowing the tofu to warm through without breaking apart. If you enjoy sweet flavors, try blending silken tofu with ripe bananas and a spoonful of nut butter for a smoothie that's both satisfying and easy on your digestive system. People often say they're reluctant to try something new. But the comfort here is that tofu is mild, so it won't taste like a big change. You can keep your favorite seasonings, herbs, or sauces, and the tofu simply becomes a vessel to carry those flavors. Imagine the emotional lift you get when you realize this strange ingredient is actually a soft, nutritious canvas for your favorite tastes. If you're still unsure, consider starting small. Add just 1/3 of a cup of silken tofu to your morning smoothie, or swirl it into a soup you already love. The key is to experiment until you find the texture and flavor combinations that suit you. Trust me, once you discover how flexible and nourishing tofu can be, you may wonder why you hadn't tried it sooner. Before moving on, reflect on your own kitchen habits. Is there room for a hidden hero ingredient like silken tofu? Give it a chance, and you might find a new staple in your recovery-friendly meal plan. If you're finding these suggestions helpful so far, think about sharing one new recipe you'd like to try in the coming week. Sometimes committing to just a single recipe is enough to spark a positive change in your routine. Now let's explore a protein that comes from the sea, a soft, flavorful option that's often overlooked. Poached or gently baked salmon can be a revelation if you've always pictured fish as dry or tough. Many seniors assume that fish can be harsh on the stomach or that it requires too much chewing. But salmon, especially when cooked slowly with moisture, transforms into a tender, flaky dish that can practically melt in your mouth. This challenges the myth that fish is only for those who can handle a stronger taste or have perfect teeth. Consider Maria, 85, who grew up in a coastal town but later moved inland. She loved seafood in her youth but fell out of the habit of eating it regularly because she thought fresh fish was hard to find and pricey. After she experienced a slow recovery from a minor surgery, her nurse suggested she reintroduce salmon for its omega-3 fatty acids, which can help reduce inflammation. Maria discovered that even frozen salmon fillets, gently baked with a little olive oil and lemon juice, flaked easily and provided the soft texture she needed. Soon she noticed an improvement in her overall energy and fewer aches in her joints. She also liked the comfort of a meal that reminded her of home by the sea. Salmon is well known for its high protein content, but it also contains healthy fats that play a role in reducing inflammation, a significant factor for anyone dealing with age-related aches, arthritis, or recovery from injury. When you nurture your body with nutrient-dense foods like salmon, you're giving yourself the building blocks for better healing. And because salmon's flavor is pleasing and adaptable, it doesn't have to be overwhelming. You can season it simply with salt and pepper or get creative with herbs like dill, thyme, or parsley. If chewing is still a concern, try shredding the cooked salmon with a fork before serving, mix it into soft pasta, or blend it into a mashed potato dish. Another approach is to prepare a salmon soup or chowder, where each spoonful offers a balanced dose of protein, healthy fats, and comforting warmth. The emotional boost of enjoying a richly flavored, tender meal can be significant. Mealtime shouldn't feel like a chore, and salmon can bring a sense of variety to your plate. There's something soothing about a meal that conjures the breezy freshness of the ocean, even if you're far from the shore. Many seniors like Maria find that once they reintroduce a gently cooked fish, it becomes a highlight of their week. It's a reminder that flavor, ease, and nutrition can go hand in hand. Next, we'll explore another soft protein source that might already be familiar for breakfast, but you may not realize the many ways it can be used to support recovery. Scrambled eggs often spark debates about cholesterol and whether they're truly healthy. Many seniors cut back on eggs due to outdated guidelines that overemphasize cholesterol concerns. Yet we now know eggs can be an excellent protein choice, especially when prepared gently. Over time, health experts have clarified that moderate egg consumption is generally safe for most individuals. That said, it's always wise to consult your healthcare provider about your specific needs. Gerald, who's 88, recently overcame a shoulder injury and needed soft foods that would help him rebuild muscle, but not hurt his stomach. He had avoided eggs for years, convinced they were too high in fat and would raise his cholesterol levels. However, once he learned newer nutritional insights, he started including scrambled eggs for breakfast every other day. He noticed that he stayed fuller longer and had fewer sugar cravings later in the morning. Most notably, his physical therapist commented on his steady improvement in muscle tone. Eggs are rich in high-quality protein and a variety of nutrients like vitamin D and choline. These support overall health, brain function, and even bone strength. Scrambling eggs with a bit of low-fat milk or water makes them extra soft, reducing the chewing needed. Season them gently with herbs or a sprinkle of cheese if you can tolerate dairy. For an added nutrition boost, you could fold in some finely chopped spinach or other soft-cooked vegetables. The emotional reassurance eggs can bring is often overlooked. There's comfort in a warm, fluffy plate of scrambled eggs, a simple dish that feels familiar, especially during challenging recovery periods. Comfort food doesn't need to be loaded with sugars or artificial additives. A well-cooked egg dish can lift your spirits while providing the protein your body craves. If you're still worried about cholesterol, talk to your doctor or a registered dietitian for personalized advice. In many cases, the benefits of the protein and nutrients in eggs can outweigh potential drawbacks, especially if consumed in moderation. Let the egg fear go if it's no longer relevant to your health condition. You might discover a renewed sense of variety in your morning routine. Before we move on, consider how you might play with egg-based dishes to make them softer or more interesting. Perhaps you'll add a dollop of cottage cheese to the scramble, or top them with an easy-to-chew salsa. You can even turn them into a simple egg salad, mashing them well for extra softness. The key is to keep your meals flavorful, enjoyable, and aligned with your health goals. We've covered 4 foods so far: cottage cheese, silken tofu, poached salmon, and scrambled eggs, each offering its own path to easier protein intake. If you've been following along, which of these foods are you most curious to try next? Sometimes picking just one is all it takes to break old routines. Up next, let's talk about a protein option that comes in a cup, one that some people overlook as just a snack or dessert. Greek yogurt has soared in popularity for its thick, creamy texture and higher protein content compared to regular yogurt. Still, many seniors view yogurt as something you eat only at breakfast or as a sweet treat. But what if Greek yogurt could be a healing ally that fits seamlessly into meals throughout the day? The misconception often is that yogurt is either too tart or too sugary, depending on the brand. Actually, plain Greek yogurt provides a versatile base you can dress up in countless ways, making it a go-to choice for gentle, consistent protein. Doris, 86, dealt with mouth sensitivity after dental work. Even soft breads felt irritating, and she found herself shying away from chewy proteins like chicken or steak. She was worried about losing muscle tone, especially because she loves staying active with her grandchildren. So we introduced Greek yogurt as a staple. She swapped her midday sandwich for a small bowl of yogurt topped with soft fruit like mashed berries or bananas. Soon, Doris found that the tangy, creamy consistency felt soothing. Better yet, she discovered it could double as a savory ingredient. She would blend herbs like dill and parsley into the yogurt for a makeshift dressing or dip, pairing it with softened vegetables. Within a few weeks, she reported feeling steadier on her feet and more satisfied at lunchtime. The reason Greek yogurt shines in a senior's recovery plan is its protein concentration. It's strained more than regular yogurt, meaning you get a higher amount of protein per spoonful. This protein helps rebuild tissue and support muscle health. Additionally, Greek yogurt is often a good source of probiotics, which can benefit gut health, important for overall immunity and well-being. Just remember to check the labels for sugar content. Plain varieties are typically best, letting you control the level of sweetness if you decide to add some honey or fruit. Physically, the softness of Greek yogurt is a blessing. No chewing required, minimal swallowing effort, and a satisfyingly rich mouthfeel. Emotionally, enjoying something smooth and versatile can be a welcome relief. You're not stuck in the realm of bland, tasteless foods, nor are you forcing yourself to endure tough textures. Instead, you can adapt Greek yogurt to almost any flavor craving: sweet, savory, even spicy. If you're looking for a creative spin, try stirring in some cinnamon and mashed banana, or use a splash of lemon juice with garlic and cucumber for a homemade tzatziki sauce. With Greek yogurt, the possibilities go far beyond breakfast. You can also experiment with baking. Swapping butter or oil for Greek yogurt in certain cake or muffin recipes can improve softness and add protein. This food can truly be your ally on the road to better recovery. Don't let past assumptions about yogurt limit you. And if you're new to Greek yogurt, consider buying a small container first, testing out different sweet or savory add-ins to find a combination you love. Let's keep the momentum going and look at another tasty option, one that might surprise you. Soft-cooked lentils or lentil soup often get overlooked in favor of meats or dairy products, but they pack a plant-based protein punch that can be remarkably easy on the jaw and digestion when prepared correctly. A common misconception is that lentils are tough or gassy, leading many seniors to shy away from them. However, with proper cooking techniques and the right spices, lentils can become a silky, comforting dish that nourishes and delights. Frank, 87, believed beans and lentils were heavy and caused discomfort in his stomach. He tried them once in his 50s and never went back. But after experiencing heart issues, his doctor recommended diversifying his protein sources and cutting down on red meat. We found a gentle lentil soup recipe that involves soaking the lentils beforehand and cooking them with broth and mild seasonings. To minimize gas, we added ingredients like bay leaves and a hint of fennel. After a few tries, Frank discovered he actually enjoyed the taste and texture. He also noticed less bloating than he'd expected, and over the next few months, his energy levels improved, which he attributed in part to a balanced diet. Lentils are rich in protein, fiber, and various micronutrients like iron and folate. That fiber can do wonders for digestive health, a common concern for seniors. By softening lentils through slow cooking or using a pressure cooker, you ensure they're easy to chew. You can even blend them partially to create a creamy soup if you prefer a smoother consistency. When your body gets adequate protein along with fiber, you may experience fewer blood sugar spikes, more sustained energy, and better overall digestive comfort. Emotionally, discovering a new comfort food in your 80s or beyond can be incredibly uplifting. It reminds us that it's never too late to embrace new tastes that also support better health. Imagine curling up with a warm, fragrant bowl of lentil soup on a cool afternoon, feeling both the physical warmth and the reassurance that you're fueling your body well. Here's a practical tip for those worried about gassiness. Start with small servings and gradually increase the amount as your body adjusts. Rinse and soak your lentils for a few hours before cooking and skim off any foam that forms during the cooking process. You can also experiment with adding ginger or cumin, spices that can help with digestion. The key is to find a preparation method that feels good for your body. Before we conclude our exploration of these 6 foods, I encourage you to pause and think about which of these protein-rich options resonates most with your lifestyle. Maybe you're drawn to the silky feel of tofu or the versatility of Greek yogurt. Perhaps salmon has sparked memories of a favorite meal from years past, or you're eager to give lentils another try. When you're ready, share your plan with a friend or family member who can help you experiment. Having support can make these changes more fun and less overwhelming. We've now covered all 6 soft protein foods: cottage cheese, silken tofu, poached salmon, scrambled eggs, Greek yogurt, and soft-cooked lentils that can help transform your recovery and bring comfort to mealtimes. Let's bring everything together as we look toward how you can integrate these ideas into your daily life. Imagine a future where you no longer dread the question, "What's for dinner?" Instead, you feel a spark of possibility, soft, protein-rich foods that soothe your mouth, nourish your body, and actually taste good. Each of the 6 foods we discussed offers its own distinct advantages, from the slow-release protein of cottage cheese to the anti-inflammatory benefits of salmon, from the gut-friendly aspects of Greek yogurt to the convenient versatility of scrambled eggs. Taken together, they provide a varied roadmap for supporting muscle tone, aiding in recovery, and sparking a little joy at mealtime. One of the biggest hurdles many seniors face is the belief that it's too late to adapt or that new foods are too complicated. But as you've seen in stories like Lucy's, Ralph's, and Doris's, small shifts can yield meaningful results. It's not a race, it's a gradual journey. If your goal is to heal faster after a surgery, reduce aches from arthritis, or simply feel stronger during everyday tasks, consider making just one change this week. Maybe that means blending cottage cheese into your soup or whipping up a lentil stew. Next week, add another option. Over time, these small steps can accumulate into a noticeable improvement in your overall well-being. It's important to act now while you're feeling inspired and informed. Often we watch a helpful video or read an article and think, "That's a good idea," but we don't take the next step. Before you lose this momentum, pick one meal in the coming days where you'll incorporate one of these soft protein sources. Make sure you have the ingredients ready, and if possible, enlist a family member, neighbor, or friend to join you. Cooking and eating can be more enjoyable when shared with someone else, and it provides a gentle accountability that helps you stick to your goals. As you become more comfortable with these foods, consider expanding your circle of knowledge. You might talk to your healthcare provider or a nutritionist about other ways to maintain muscle mass and support healing. If you enjoy sharing recipes, post a simple idea online or in a community bulletin. Let others know what's working for you. There's power in community. Every time we share our successes, we inspire someone else to try new things. For those who want to go a step further, you could even keep a brief food journal to track how you feel after each protein-packed meal, noting any improvements in energy or mood. If you found value in these suggestions, take a moment to subscribe or follow this channel so you don't miss future insights on senior health and wellness. Share this video with friends or relatives who might benefit, especially those who are recovering from surgery or dealing with age-related challenges. You never know whose life you might brighten by passing along this information. And if you're someone who just wants to watch quietly and incorporate these tips on your own, that's perfectly fine too. Whatever your engagement level, know that you have the power to shape your health destiny at any age. Above all, remember that these dietary tips are here to support you, not restrict you. Think of them as tools that can enhance your independence and enjoyment of life. You have decades of experience and wisdom behind you. By embracing these softer, gentler protein options, you can continue writing your next chapters with vitality. Whether it's gardening with ease, taking a brisk walk, or simply feeling more confident as you get out of bed each morning, let these foods be part of your journey toward comfort, strength, and satisfaction. Thank you for spending this time with me. I wish you all the best as you explore these new tastes and textures. Here's to a life of continual discovery, even after 80. Enjoy your meals, nurture your body, and stay curious. You deserve nothing less.